So on the 9500, the neutral is bonded to frame, which means, as you see, I've got the one side of my multimeter which is set to continuity on the neutral side. If I touch it in ground, you can hear that there's continuity. Same thing if I touch which is great if this is running as a standalone, but if you're going to plug this into a house through a breaker panel that does not switch the neutral, you need to unbond that bonding in order to be in compliance with the National Electric Code. And the way it's done is there is, on the backside of this ground stud, there's a white wire that attaches to the post, which is the neutral. So you have to get behind this panel and remove that wire from the ground stud in order to make the neutral floating. So I started by taking off the cover plate where you've got 10 of the 8mm screws around the edge. So when you take that off, you'll see here is the panel, which is held on with these regular screws. And there's also one down inside here. You have to get kind of a longer handled Phillips head down there to unscrew that to pull this out in order to get the panel out. And the wire is going to be right under here behind that ground stud. So the panel is loose, and if you look at here, the back side of the stud, this white wire that you see right here, see this white wire that's right here, that is your neutral bond. So what we need to do is loosen this nut and remove that white wire from this stack here. So as you can see now, the white wire is now disconnected from here on the ground stud. So now we will do a quick check again with the multimeter to make sure now that there is no continuity between neutral and ground. Now, as you see, I am back in the same two ports before, and there is no beeping from the meter, which means now we have a floating neutral. So the next part will be to make sure that this wire, I put a little bit of heat shrink over the end of that so that that metal doesn't touch anything in there and rebond the system or do other nefarious things. All right, that wire is now safely heat shrinked. So now we'll just tuck it back in here and put the generator all back together. So here it is all back together. So now when you want to use this standalone, where you're going to be plugging things directly into these so that the GFCIs work, what I did is I took from the little kit that comes with it, this is the plug for this 120 volt single phase outlet. And inside I simply bridge a 10 gauge wire from the ground to the neutral. So what that does is it creates your neutral bond again. So if you ever need to, you simply take this, plug it in like that, and now you will have restored your neutral, your ground neutral bond. I get those to see, and now you've got your bond back. So that'll allow you to use this in a standalone method safely.